All right, guys, welcome to the live room. I hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a nice start to your week. It's hump day, which for some people, this is like, oh, we're closer to the weekend. You know, we're gonna make it to the weekend. We've got 2 days left, 3 days left at work, or whatever. And I get so many messages from people saying, oh, yeah, I live for the weekend and I look forward to the weekend so I can do the things I want to do. And I was talking yesterday about basically what success is. And success is just doing things that you want to do deliberately. It sounds so simple. It's one of the things that people strive for most, to be able to do what they want to do and deliberately do that. I think the reason there's a lot of resentment and a lot of, angst towards the whole thing is everyone's got a choice to do what they want to do all the time. They really, really have. But what usually happens is people go down a path that isn't really where they wanted to go because they've taken advice from people and they've let other people dictate their actions and, gone and done the uni degree and become a doctor or whatever it might be. And then they realize, actually, this isn't what I wanted to do. So now I've got to reverse engineer it all and I've got to somehow work on getting back to that choice that I had to do anything I wanted. And that's kind of where people struggle a little bit. And that's when they look forward to the weekend because they're like, I've got to get away from this thing that I've ended up in. I come alive at the weekend because I work on actually what I want to work on and all the rest of it. And yeah, the key is don't get there in the first place. Like, I know that's easy to say. And I had to reverse engineer my way out of I actually got a job and did a business as part of a strategy, but don't let it get too far. It's never too late to start turning it around and doing what you want to do. Okay, so tier one, who we got here? Chris, David, Duncan, all the usual suspects. Eamon, Push. Yeah, I see you all. We're actually streaming this onto my YouTube channel as well today. Just YouTube. I didn't stream out to all the other channels. But the reason I did that is because I thought I'd do something a little bit different. We looked at all the markets yesterday, and if you're following along, you'll see there's a lot of news out today. Big news day. And we've got FOMC meeting minutes later on. We've got the flash services PMI this afternoon. We've got some manufacturing PMI out on the pound, the euro. There's lots of pound euro news this morning, which might present some opportunities. And great, we'll flick through the pairs to see where we're at with those. But if you look at, this is the 4-hour time frame, if you can see what's been happening, it's kind of sideways movement just in this last, what I'm looking at here is this, right? Since yesterday, basically. So what, yesterday was the 22nd. You see this? We're just kind of moving, dribbling sideways. Got a bit of movement on the euro dollar for those of you following that downward move. Yeah, not a lot. Breakout wedge continuing on the New Zealand dollar. But if you look at the S&P, look. Sideways, sideways, sideways. This is doji, indecision. So what I thought we would do is we could take a look through some of these. Has anyone got any setups on the radar that they want to look at? Has anyone got any trades that they're in or trades that they're looking at? Or Push says Euro Yen 4-hour bearish Gartley setup. Okay, let's take a look at the euro yen. Whoops. Euro yen 4 hour, which we're on. Remove these drawing tools. Bearish Gartley says push. So push is looking at this. Whoops. X, A. Yeah, not a. It's not a Gartley on this data, so you'd have to check your data for this one. This would actually be a bat pattern for me, or for this data, so a little bit higher. But yeah, see what you're looking at there. I have the same setup, says Rain. Yeah, definitely a Gartley on this one. So unless you're using, unless you've got different data or whatever. Cool. Anyone else? Seeing a push up on the Aussie CAD at the moment. Push up on the Aussie dollar. Continuation of the blur, compression channel and flag. No one? SB says, good morning, Jay. If you don't mind, please, could you give us your technical analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum, US dollar on the daily time frame? Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe we just, maybe we just have a little look-see at some of those, just because it doesn't matter if you're interested in crypto or not. I highly recommend that people don't dabble with crypto if you're new to trading and investing, as I always say. But technical analysis, it's good to just throw on another market, a random market, a market that you don't know, and start analyzing that, practicing your skills of technical analysis, because it's just a muscle like every other muscle. You have to train it to grow it, to build discretion. Discretion isn't something that you just magically wake up and you can feel the market. It's not, it doesn't work like that. So let's do that. Let's pick up a market. Let's just go for Bitcoin. Let's delete all the drawing tools, go out to the monthly, and we'll just start making our way down. Is anyone in Bitcoin? Has anyone got any holdings in this pair? Let me know. What other platforms do you use for your live streams apart from YouTube? Kennedy, we actually stream every day inside tier1trading.com. It's a trader education platform. When I do these random streams, I sometimes push to YouTube, sometimes push to Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and all those, but today it's just on YouTube. There's no pattern to them other than tier 1 trading, which we do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday every single week. Apart from last week, because we had our Truth About Trading 4-day workshop. If you haven't got access to that, go to tier1trading.com and you'll see it on the homepage. Go and get it, and you can get all the recordings of that event and all the tools that we gave you, the workbooks and everything. Really, really valuable session. Good morning from sunny Barcelona, says Patricia. Morning. SB says, obviously I'm holding Bitcoin, but thinking I should have waited for a monthly confirmation rather than a daily. Yeah, so look, sometimes the higher time frame, the macro view can relieve your animal brain a little bit. Sometimes it can just help you keep composed. Because what we're looking at here, okay, is from a technical standpoint, we're looking at a couple of things. We're looking at what phase, like what condition the market's in. Okay, so we're bullish. All right, this is a bullish market. This is a monthly time frame and long time horizons back from 2011, which is on this chart here. We've got a bullish market. Everyone can agree. Okay, got bullish, 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 right? bottom left, top right. Okay. So it's a bullish market. What phase the market's in? Okay, so the phase is going to be, are we in a run or a pullback or an extension or an outside return or a retracement? Okay, there's all these different names that you can use. But essentially it's phase one, which is the rally, the extension to the upside. And then you've got phase two, which is the pullback. And then you've got phase one again, which is the rally. And then phase two, which is the pullback. Okay. And then you've got phase one again, which is the rally. And then you've got the pullback. And when you look at it like that, that's, you know, pretty calming. You also see that previous resistance usually becomes support. Okay, we didn't actually do that here, but it doesn't always. Okay, but usually previous resistance becomes support, support becomes resistance. It's just a way that markets move based on market participants' reactions. And the whole market is driven by psychology. You know, it's all human psychology behind these moves at the end of the day, right? So we're in a pullback phase. We are at previous structure resistance could become support. Okay. Next thing you want to look at is, well, we've already looked at support and resistance. We've looked at structure. Okay. Other things that you might be looking at is kind of angular trend lines and things like that. We don't really have too much to go on this market because it's quite young. It's always been bullish. It's not seen too many tests of support and resistance levels. So again, this is high speculation. We haven't got a lot to go on. There isn't a 20 years of 30 years of history where we've got a consolidating market and levels being tested countless times. So we can't score you can't score the respect of that particular price point. Okay. So that takes it up higher speculation, right? Now what we can do though, is we can start to look for price action patterns down here of how price is behaving. Because if you look at all of these, what you'll see is a move down and then a hold and then an indecision, right? And then a higher high, higher close candle and then boom, a rally. Okay. If you're really advanced on your price patterns, you start to see compression channels and then a dip down and then a breakout. And you start to see compression channels and then a dip down and a breakout, right? So you see all these different things as well. But the same thing here, we had a dip down, started to hold, got indecision, and then ran out of steam, and then a higher high, higher close, and then a rally. Okay. And so on and so on and so on. Okay. Here we had a 3-bar reversal. So now we've seen a pull down and we're seeing very familiar patterns, right? We're seeing a hold. We hit it like a concrete floor. We're holding. By the way, this is the monthly chart. Every single one of these candles is a month. Do you think there's indecision? Right? Seem to roll over month after month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. Hit this like a wall. Previous structure, resistance, becomes support. And then we hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Really trying to push into this zone right now. Okay. But now comes the question, do you look for a particular candlestick formation to enter? Okay. On the monthly, or do you go down and look for confirmation of a more kind of conservative price action pattern that will allow you to enter? Right, like a double top on the daily or a double bottom on the daily or something like that, which we've actually had here in this zone. Okay, or do you just not bottom pick and you just you believe, and this is where you're going to kind of combine your qualitative analysis and your discretionary, like your preferred analysis with aligning that to your risk appetite and everything, and just say, look, I believe in Bitcoin. I believe in crypto. Bitcoin's the leader. I believe in the coin. I believe what it stands for. I understand how it works. I understand what it was designed for. I've read about what the big plan for Bitcoin is. I use it myself. I would happily hold Bitcoin and not get a return for 10 years, and them sort of questions you want to be asking yourself. And then you just don't bottom pick. You just say, well, this is a good price. Okay, this is a good price. I'm going to buy it and hold it. And that's it. But what you have to understand is it's high speculation because you are buying something as an investment asset, right? When it's not an investment asset. Okay, so at some point, the problem with Bitcoin is at some point in your head, you've got this in your head that this isn't going to go up forever, because it isn't. As soon as it starts to be used as it was designed to be used, as a currency, okay, of course it's going to consolidate over time. It's just going to move sideways like every other market. Make sense? Except instead of between the Bitcoin and euro, or Bitcoin and pound, or Bitcoin and dollar, it's going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, pound, crypto, Bitcoin, CBCD, whatever. It's going to be traded against different cryptos. Yeah. So the answer to your question on Bitcoin is that is the analysis. Like, that's the analysis. It's just then down to you to go, do I want to take a punt on this? And that's it. Or at least that's my approach, because I don't actively trade this. I don't actively trade in and out of the pair. Right? If I see a good technical setup and it aligns with, the stars align and the numbers align and it's cheap and it doesn't represent more than 1% of my total liquidity being managed in all of my portfolio, then I can go, yeah. Is there anything else I could put that money in at the moment? No, I'll put it in Bitcoin then. And that's literally it. That's my approach. Now, having said that, I want to warn you guys away from dabbling with this stuff. Okay. And for most of yesterday evening and tonight, I've had conversation with a lady who contacted me and said she lost 50 grand. She transferred 50 grand to someone pretending to be me with their name Robert. And she lost a house. She filed for bankruptcy. She basically was in a dark hole. Okay, dark hole, and it's horrendous. This stuff's happening all the time, and it was because she transferred lots of transfers over to someone who she didn't know any better. She wasn't really hip with social media, and yes, if you're going to transfer money to people, don't do that. Don't do that. Apparently, she filed for bankruptcy for 50K. It spiraled out because she couldn't pay her house and all this. Like, this is an older lady as well, by the way. If you're old enough and wise enough, I would always say, this it's only a lesson, right? I mean, it does blow my mind how easily people are tricked into this kind of stuff. Okay. But yeah, Rain says it's really weird that these victims only start looking for the real account when they get cheated. That's something that's gone over my mind many times, Rain, as well. But this one seemed to be legit. I mean, she sent me about 100 emails on screenshots of conversations. So I would agree, why are you just messaging me now when you've been having relations with someone who's pretending to be me for a year? why did you just message the real account now about this? But this one seemed to be real. And yeah, digital crime is on the rise. So I just want to take this opportunity to say again, I will never message you, contact you, telegram you, WhatsApp you, FB Messenger, anything like that. Unless you message me and say something and I reply or whatever, I'll never ask you to send money anywhere. I don't invest money for people. I don't recommend any investment vehicles for you to send your money to. And if it's anything to do with Bitcoin, blockchain, or any of that, and you have to transfer money that way, please just call the police or something. You know, run. Rain says, why do you think those fake victim message real account after they get cheated? What they want and what you think they want. I think they want like compensation, or they're just trying to see if I will feel sorry for them and give them money somehow or help them get money. I don't know. But yeah. When analyzing a price chart, would you consider one candlestick as a pullback? No. But that's just me. Okay. That's just me. I don't. Yeah, I need at least 2 candles for a pullback. Yeah. So just watch out there. It's a shark infested ocean, and you're swimming out there. You got to be very, very careful. Sometimes they look legit. If you know, I know you and Akil never send DMs, but a few weeks ago I got a message from Akil, and the second account name looked if it was him. I noticed because I follow him and see his latest picture. Yeah, like some of these accounts, they have all my official links in their bio. So when you go to the account, you say, oh, well, look, this is the guy. And then you click on the link and it will take you to my websites and my, everything. But this has been it's been a major, major pain. We've spent thousands of pounds on I even got a trademark for my name, right? In like 5 or 6 different classes. Look at this. Even got a trademark. Trademark the name Jason Graystone, in the hope that we've got legs to stand on when people use my images and stuff like that and use my name. But anyway. Okay. Any questions on this? Any questions? No? All right. Let's take a look at Ethereum then. It'll probably be pretty much the same story. Let's remove all the drawing tools first. Go out to the monthly time frame. So the reason we go out is because we form the bias. Okay, we form the long-term bias. The long-term bias has to be aligned because we're not trading, right? That's the crucial difference here to remember. If I was trading, my bias might be on a lower time frame. Okay, PMI day, yeah. That's why we're not too interested in there's not a lot happening right now. Probably in the New York sessions where we'll see the moves, but there's not a lot going on this morning, so we're just having a look through some of these other markets. The key difference is I'm not trading this. Okay, so my long-term bias needs to be aligned with, you know, higher time frame, and then you basically start aligning your investment approach, short-term / long short-term investment approach, to that bias, to that prediction. So look, we don't have a lot to go on here, do we? I remember getting in Ethereum at 78, I think it was. Yeah. I mean, I literally got in. No, it must have been higher. 19. Oh, this is dollars. That's why. Yeah. It was about £78. Anyway. That's a good return. And again, long term. Long term. If you guys read my newsletters back in the day, you would have seen, whoops, when I put this out. But long term, okay, haven't really got a lot to go on. So again, we are now in a pullback phase. We've had the run, right? Pullback, run, pullback. If I was teaching trading, this would be a perfect chart for the two phases, okay? Run, pullback. Now, when we hit the pullback, what do we look for? We look for deceleration, price action patterns, because you can see here we had bearish, bang. We bottomed out. We never ever made a lower low than this, okay? And then we rallied. Bang, same again. Bearish, bottomed out. We've now retested. We've got a double bottom here at previous structure. Resistance should become support. Look at all this, right? Look at that. Previous structure, resistance becomes support. We've got the angular trend line intersecting with the horizontal trend line. We've got a price action pattern that shows that we've run out of steam. We've got a double bottom here. On the close of this candle, it will be a valid double bottom. Okay. We don't have divergence, which is, you know, a little bit of a concerning thing if you're looking at that as a confluence factor. But yeah. Now it's just, do I believe in Ethereum? Would I happily hold it for 10 years and not see a return? You know, these are the kind of questions. Not enough people ask themselves these kind of questions. We had a nice, like this significant channel here, looking left. Right in there, right? So, short-term traders, you might be using like Gartley patterns and things like that in consolidation, right? So you might just go, right, okay, well, I've got this set up here. Is actually a bat pattern, completed the bat pattern down here. You just take it and you hit your target or whatever. Or you just might be trading this as a retest. But it's all going to boil down to you now, right? There's EU news in 20 minutes. Yes, there is. There is. Anyone got any setups they want to share with us before I move on? Is your background your nice bar? It is, yeah. It is a bar. Although we got rid of all the drinks. Still haven't had a SID. There's just some DJ decks on there now. Still haven't had a haven't had an alcoholic drink since the 27th of December 21. So almost a year. One more month and it'll be a year. Not that I'm some raging alcoholic, but yeah, it was a good thing for me to knock on the head. What else should we look at? What else do you want to look at? Here's the crazy thing that I showed you guys yesterday, right? You see all these stocks that are taking a big dip. Let's go out to the monthly even. Right, seeing all these stocks hit a big dip, right? Even the, the S&P 500, Tesla, you're seeing Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, right? Some of the biggest companies in the world. And then you look at my favorite investment, one of my favorite investments, Schmuckers, all-time high. Less volatility than any stock. Recession proof. Another one, Snap-on, right? Now, Snap-on is also on the up, but look how volatile it is. Why is it volatile? Because it's not necessarily recession proof, is it? Snap-on make tools to repair cars, primarily. Okay? Schmuckers make peanut butter, which people eat and eat and eat. And Americans love peanut butter. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break. We're going to refill the coffee cups. And we'll come back and have a look at some other markets. If you want to take a look at a market, fire it in. I'm not going to go through the normal 8 today because it's just nothing's happening yet. I think Akil's session will be more interesting today because we'll see that London-New York crossover. But if you want to take a look at any markets, let me know. Fing, Joe, Godwin, SB, Kennedy, if you want to look at anything, or our usual guys in tier 1, let me know. We'll put 10 minutes on the break and grab a coffee, and I'll see you in a minute. Alright guys, welcome back to the live session. Hope you're doing well. We are just flicking through markets today, really. Because if we just go back and take a quick look at... let's go to the 4-hour chart and just flick through some of these pairs. You can see we've just sideways movement, really. We're waiting for the news before we see any kind of movements on these pairs. Probably the New York session or the London-New York crossover will be where the opportunities are at. There was a buying opportunity here on the dollar-yen, which we haven't quite pushed down to the entry level yet. Almost. New Zealand dollar, we got a breakout that we're waiting for. That's probably something that could play out during the news. And then pound Aussie, I think there was a 2618 set up on here as well. So let's take a quick look at this. 2618 set up. If I draw in a horizontal line, right where this played out, this double top, you can see it was previous structure support, resistance, it held. There wasn't too much, well, there was divergence, it wasn't overbought or anything, but we've got now a violation of the retracement, and then we're pulling up to a 2618 setup. And conventionally the 2618 setup is where you look for a pullback into the 618, which we're at right now. So this is a valid setup. It's about a 1-to-1 profit target. For conventional targets, you're entering at the 618. Your target is whatever your target rules above the high, ATR, or a couple of pips or whatever, and your target's at the low. So you can see it's a bang on a 1-to-1, give or take a couple of pips. All right, so that's the 2618 setup that is in play right now. But because there's not a lot else, we're just looking at other markets. We're just taking a look at some of the other markets. Took a look at some crypto. I'll happily take a look at some other Forex markets that we don't normally look at in this portfolio. So if you've got any, let me know. I know I asked before the break. No one posted in any any ideas. I just made a peanut butter sandwich. We might just push the stock prices on peanut butter by 1 cent. Yeah. There's no trader coffee break again today, unfortunately. No. This is quite a hectic time of year. Today I'm actually going into London for a business event myself. So just some networking and stuff. But I won't be around to do the trader coffee break, unfortunately. But we'll be back next week for that, for sure. All busy making peanut butter sandwich. Yeah, right. Any other questions? Any other markets you want to look at? Because this will be a real quick session otherwise. We're kind of just... If you guys have got any problems in your trading or struggles or concerns or questions, or you're working on something or you want some advice or whatever it might be, use this time for that, because as you can see, there's not a lot going on. We are here's an interesting one. So this is the Aussie New Zealand dollar. And the Aussie New Zealand dollar, the area that I'd pay attention to is this 1.06 level. And the reason being, you can probably tell already that we've had support, right? Support, and then it became resistance, right? And then resistance, and then we had support here, right? And now we're approaching, we're not there yet, but we're approaching that level. And if we push down to that zone, that would be a nice level for a structure-based setup. Okay, so this would be the kind of area that I'd look at for a double bottom. And this is the daily time frame. So if we can push down there, I can look for a double bottom on the 4-hour or the hourly even, and look to make money on a short, quick move to the upside that has a high probability. So I'm getting in and out quickly. And I don't have to fight through structure or anything like that. The good thing about this at the moment is really you could take targets up at 0.7. So there's probably a 100 pip profit target there before you really have to battle with any kind of resistance. Is there a TOF show this week? Yeah, always free show will be on Thursday. Yep. Always free show is Thursday. Tomorrow. Wow, Thursday already. Maybe let's take a look at. Okay, this is moving very, very similar to some of the other currencies. Okay, been bearish for a long time. This is gold, by the way. And then we broke out of that. So if you was looking to short, this would be the kind of area where you're looking to short. Actually blasted out of this channel, put in a new high, and now we're in a pullback phase. So this could be where you're looking to buy this up. Okay. I do think we're going to see gold push to the upside. See the moving averages crossing over. We've now got the 8, the 20, the 50. Price action pushing down into that 820 zone. Started to see price action patterns showing that we're running out of steam. This is the daily time frame. A retest. Previous structure resistance becomes support. You get a retest here. Okay. Equal tests of price. Whoops. Oh, this mouse is doing some funny things. Equal tests of price. Look at that. Right. Divergence on slight divergence, not the best. Slight divergence on RSI. And there's your entry. If you miss this, you could wait for a 2618 setup. When is your publisher putting the book on? It's not going to be before Christmas. It's not going to be before Christmas. I know that absolutely crippled me when I heard that they couldn't do it before Christmas, but hey ho. Yep, obviously that would have been my ideal, but upcoming trader here, have to watch a lot of your content, still seem to struggle with the process. I need a solid structure due to the fact that there's so many distractions online. Well, yeah, because when you're searching YouTube and you're picking out pieces yourself and there's no directional kind of do this, then this, then this, it's very difficult. You know, and the more content that I put out or anyone puts out, the more you have to sift through to kind of pull out the nuggets, because what you're seeing is the end result. You're not seeing how to get there, and it's very hard. It takes, you know, it's been proven that it takes 3 or 4 times longer to figure this stuff out on YouTube or trying to do it yourself than it does yourself. So than it does than getting a mentor. In time for my 50th 55th in September. Be way before then. Yeah. Heiselberg, if you send us an email, we can direct you to some kind of directional training that will help you. So if you send an email to info@jasongraystone.com, that will remind me to send you all the links to all of our training and everything. Cool. No problem. Has anyone else got any questions or markets they want to look at? Because if not, we'll just get into a kills session later this afternoon and see how see what he's looking at. That's where all the opportunities will be, I'm sure, today. And then tomorrow we can hopefully come back and talk about how we're managing positions or we're getting involved with new positions. But yeah, it's another short session, guys, by the looks of it. If you guys got anything, let me know now. If not, we will wrap up and be back tomorrow. Until then, take care. I'll see you guys in the platform.